Roch Kubatko of MASNsports.com. So your general sense in talking to Dan was he's not going to panic. He's going to wait at least 2 full months.
Right, exactly. I mean, it's too early to just blow up the team no matter what kind of start they get off to. And it's true. Teams usually, it's about Memorial Day you start really examining. Once they give them a little more time to see whether they can get things together, when guys get healthy, the guys they have here that need to heat up and play better, hit better, pitch better, whatever. And then if you know, they're going to check Norfolk to see if there's some help down there as well. But, you know, they're going to wait a little while longer. They just think it's too soon, no matter what kind of start they got off to, completely dismantle this team. Plus, it's not as easy as just saying, let's just start trading guys, because you have to get something back in return. Otherwise, all you're doing is reducing your roster and your payroll, and it's not going to help you in the present or the future.
Yeah, you know what? I think there are a lot of teams around the league, especially this year, that are probably looking to do the same. And I think this Tigers team might be like that. I mean, I don't think they're going to move Cabrera or Martinez, has talked about retiring. But I think there are a lot of teams in the same boat. And it's what team's going to pull the trigger first? And is there a true plan? If you're going to move players, are there teams out there willing to do deals with you? Do you have some guys in sight that could really help this organization stay, you know, contending for the next few years?
Right. So I think that's what Dan was saying. It's not just about, all right, we have to evaluate our team, but other teams are doing the exact same thing. And then you're seeing, is there a match? Teams are identified as contenders at a certain point that might not be right now, but a month from now, a couple months from now, might say, you know what, we just need this one piece here to make this run, and now we're willing maybe to give up what we weren't before. Maybe they'll sense the Orioles are going to be all of a sudden in seller mode and start coming to them. And it's not like Dan Duquette has a block on his phone where he's not taking calls now. He's just not going to start actively shopping guys at this stage of the season. They really do want to have an opportunity, and hopefully by then it's not too late, to get everybody back together and see what they can do with Scope, not that far off, Trumbo, and then hopefully you get, you know, Britton back in early June. And you hope that you're still within some kind of striking distance to go ahead and make that run. Plus, again, guys with track records that got off to the slow starts, they're still counting on them to heat up and live up to those track records.
Well, that is a good point about the injured Orioles, because Mark Trumbo has yet to play this year.
Right.
Jonathan Scope got hurt in Game 11. That was the first game of the Boston series. And Zach Britton, I guess early June is when they expect him back. So the key is, how much ground can you make up? And Adam Jones said the other day, hey, if you reverse April's record in May and you get back to 500, you go in the June, you're back in business. The question is, can the team do that?
Right, exactly. And again, you're counting on guys that were struggling to heat up. Colby Rasmus, you almost forgot about him. That was supposed to be a big acquisition, the left-handed bat plus defender, and he's just started hitting down in Sarasota. So they've, you know, everybody's got their tales of woe, as Buck says. So no one's going to feel sorry for them with the injuries, but they just haven't had this team together. And they've had guys that they were counting on, and Chris Davis certainly one of them, that haven't produced. Tim Beckham was not hitting at the time of the injury. There were some flaws we thought with the roster. They took some chances with a couple Rule 5 guys in the bullpen, not having the true utility guy. They've made some corrections there, and they're hoping maybe there'll be some guys in the minors that'll start beating down the door that they can bring up. We're still keeping an eye on Hunter Harvey at Bowie, of course, and some others. Pitch well. David Hess doing really well so far with Norfolk. Guys like that, they're keeping an eye on.
He pitches tonight, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, some good stuff, I think, in the minor leagues as well, but you certainly can't rest everything on the minor leagues and the potential prospects down there. You know, I think getting this team right is very important. I think they're winning players on this team. They've done it in the past, you know, under Buck Showalter. And like you said, I think getting the injured players back, you know, rebounding a bit, I think this team can certainly turn things around. I mean, last year at the end of the year, we saw kind of the tale of two different teams, and might be what we're looking at this year. August, they were best team in baseball. September, dud. And I think that's a carryover maybe for this month, but they can certainly have the potential to turn things around just that easy.
Well, certainly a better rotation than what we saw before. And that's one of the things Buck was saying. He goes, we think it's a good rotation that can be very good if Chris Tillman can build on what he did last night. And that's one of the things I think that disappoints people, is because last year it was the rotation that dragged him down. This year that might be the best feature of this club, go figure. But then all of a sudden no one was hitting. The defense has slipped. Some guys in the bullpen, including Michael Givens, has struggled some early on, that you know he's better than that and will turn it around eventually. But they just haven't been able to click on all cylinders here. So they're hoping that maybe now the offense has perked up some. If they continue to get the good starts, that things will come around here.
Well, you talk about the minor leagues and players coming up from the minor leagues, and the Orioles did make a roster move before tonight's game as Tanner Scott was optioned to AAA Norfolk, and Joey Rickard, as you can see, he was tearing it up for the Tides. In fact, he was the number 3 hitter in their lineup, 345 average, and he has been red hot as of late. Orioles face a left-hander tonight. They face a left-hander tomorrow, so why not take advantage of the depth in the system and promote Joey Rickard, who certainly earned his way back.
Right. There are a few factors, I think, that got Joey here. I mean, they wanted to go back to a 4-man bench. They seem to be playing matchups all year. Do we need 2 lefties in the bullpen or just 1, depending on the next opponent? And they decided Tigers, Angels, A's, you only need Richard Blyers, that only lefty. And then also the fact that Joey Rickard earned it. I mean, you give him credit. He was like 5 for 33 in spring training. It was really a disappointment. It was going to be hard for him to make the team anyway once they signed Craig Gentry. They wanted to keep carrying Anthony Santander. And, you knew Trey Mancini was a lock there. They got Colby Rasmus. So, Joey was going to be hard-pressed to make the club anyway, and then he didn't hit it all. But he went down there, and instead of either pouting or letting it get to him, hurt his confidence, ended up hitting the way he did. He reached base safely in every game. He had a plate appearance and had a 5 for 5 game, had a 3 for 5 game, plus runner, good defense, and he got his way back up here. So he earned it, and there were also some circumstances where the Orioles thought, this would be a good fit right now. 4-man bench, right-handed bat, only need 1 lefty in the bullpen. Who can we go to? Joey Rickard.
Yeah, I love it. When Joey Rickard made the team out of spring training as a Rule 5 player, he was the energizer. He was the spark plug on this team, and I think he can do that again. They got Jace Peterson, who's been amazing on the bases. I mean, that brings a different dimension that this team hasn't had. I mean, serious energy when they take the field, so you can, try to score some runs a different way, not completely rely on the home run. We've seen it this year already. If they don't hit homers, they're not that good offensively right now. You get guys with some speed, put some pressure on the opposing defense, and I think that's another reason why they get Rickard up here. Now you got Gentry, Rickard, and Peterson that can really wreak havoc on the bases.
And I'm pretty sure Adam Jones is looking to his left and his right and saying, I kind of like this alignment here defensively. It works for him.
Yeah, these guys can run it down. Now the Orioles, after the 2 games here, head out west. The Angels are off to a very good start, and Oakland is off to a better than expected start. And if the Orioles are going to begin to correct a slow start, that's a tough road trip to do it on.
It is always tough on the West Coast. I don't even care what anyone's record is. You go out there, it's hard to win. And I think Oakland's probably been a little better than people thought. Angels are good. I mean, it's not going to be easy at all. And that's why I think it's disappointing when they were swept out in Detroit, because you look at the schedule and say, all right, that's a series you got to win. You got to win this series. The Rays been playing well of late for sure, but that's another team. You're at home. You feel like you should go ahead and win that series. They didn't do it. And it's not like time is I mean, they're on the clock here a little bit. Let's face it, it's only April, late April, going into May, but you can't keep playing this kind of baseball and say, well, it's still early. You're going to be in too big a hole. So they've got to start now. They had to win last night. We know there's no momentum in baseball. It's the next day starting pitcher, but you hope you can build on that and then go out west, and you hope you can take that and just get on this kind of a roll, which they think they're capable of doing. But it's not going to be easy out there.
No, I agree. I think there are a lot of positives, though, to take out of the last few days. The fact that the Oriole offense is really starting to pick it up, become more consistent, quality at bats. Manny Machado is right at the top of MVP considerations right now. He is a force offensively. I'm sure you're going to see him start to get walked a little bit more. Exactly. But when you get that speed up there, I mean, to run around and put some pressure on the defense, that's going to help players like Manny Machado drive in potentially more runs. I just think it's a better offense right now, one that you can kind of push a little bit more to kind of ignite a team, because when this team was flat offensively, they were really flat. There was nothing to go to. And then the other night, Peterson steals third base, and he got tackled over there by Archer. Well, that was a little momentum push. I mean, that was something like everybody took note of that, and then he steals again last night. So that kind of stuff sparks the team. It energizes the team. It picks everybody up a notch, man. And when you can raise that level, get that bar a little bit higher, you're going to be much better. This team's done it before. They could definitely do it again.
Peterson played football at McNeese State. He's used to taking a hit. Yeah, he's fine with that. But they weren't even hitting home runs early in the season during this slump, and they're built to do that. So if you're not manufacturing runs, you're not hitting home runs, you don't have to be a genius to figure out you're not going to win many games. So now the power may be coming back. The weather's improved some. Hopefully that helps as well. Maybe they heat up. We're not playing in 30-degree weather anymore.
And I understand every GM in baseball tries to sign that guy. Momentum.
Yes.
He wants too much money, apparently. That's what I All right. Thank you, Roch. We appreciate the visit. We're getting set for baseball here. Bad jokes and all.